is in China. So
Mm.
China is no longer this, factory
No.
making
The
everyone
world,
else's
the
stuff.
world's
Yeah,
factory, right?
they're now creating product that they're going to export and literally compete with the luxury brands that are European or American that already exist. So even how we frame and think of China will eventually have to change because they've moved on.
It's also important to keep in mind that yes, 30, 40 years ago, the Chinese had developed a reputation as the world's factory, producing toys, for example, that you might receive over the holidays that would break after one, two, three usages. That stereotype of poor quality. But in fact, now, as many of you realize, that China is on the cutting edge of all forms of technology and AI. China is also the world's largest consumer market, the world's largest exporter, and they're just extremely savvy and sophisticated about how to sell products, as you see with Shein, with Temu, that sort of thing, despite the controversies, right? That some will find those prices and the range of products irresistible. So it is important to understand more about the Chinese, and at some point we'll have a Chinese guest who can help explain. I have a couple colleagues in mind who can shed some light, bring some insights regarding the Chinese market and Chinese plans for the future. Anything else on this,
Mm.
colleagues? I think it would be great to have some future guests so we can all get a better understanding of the landscape of it because it's such a big topic and
Mm.
it's a whole shift in the global market. So it'll be
Right.
something we could really dive into a lot deeper, I'm sure. Because
Indeed.
as you guys alluded to, it's not just what China is doing, but also how the Western world is responding to. So China is a real key player in the fashion industry in 2025 and now in 2026 as well. So let's move on to our third topic, which is AI. Everyone's talking about AI, but specifically, they're talking about so many of the pros, so many of the cons.
Mhm.
But let's focus on what it's doing to the fashion industry.